Hey y'all, I'm back. And it's been a year since I started using menstrual since I started using menstrual cups. And it's been a journey. But I love it. Not taking it back. It's literally the best thing that's ever happened to my menstrual cycle. The best thing that's ever happened to my cycle that I have once a month, 12 times a year. 12 times. You know what I mean? I talked to you guys in the last video about mostly why I chose to start using menstrual cups and the benefits and my experience, I think maybe 2 months in. So I was like super new, but now I have delved into quite a few different experiences. Like sometimes my vagina doesn't want to wear the cup. Didn't think that would happen. Like, here I am. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And sometimes my vagina goes, nope, not today. And then the next day she'll go, nope, not today either. And I have gone almost an entire cycle without wearing my cup. Why? I mean, my body, I guess. Just listening to my body. If my body says no, I try my best to listen, you know. So there are times where I pop my cup in and I'm like, okay, I'm on the go, I'm on the move, I have a lot to do today. And my vagina's like, I'm not feeling it. It's a no for me, dog. And I just be like, okay. So what do? I started using cloth pads. I also started using disposable dioxin-free, chlorine-free pads. Why can't I talk today? And everything's just fine. I mean, using a pad has never really been the end of the world for me. And I kind of like having the convenience there. I also would like to shout out all of the pad and tampon companies. I see y'all. I came back to the U.S. my first trip to Target, and I went down the feminine care aisle, and what did I see? Always has a natural brand. Tampax has a natural brand, and there are all these brands from places like Italy and things like that that I've never even seen before, but have super cute packaging, and I really want to try it. But then I had to remind myself that, like, you can't try them all. I mean, I could, but I'm only going to have a certain amount of cycles before I go back to Kuwait, so there's really not a lot of options there. Now, still not crazy about a tampon. Tampons just didn't work for me, and I don't really feel like I need to try again. Like, just kind of don't see the point, even if they are, you know, all natural tampons. I could just use my cup. And for those of you that haven't used a cup, it is different from a tampon. It is like you insert it like a tampon, but it's different. So as someone who hates tampons, don't think I'll try the natural tampons, but I did try some of the natural pads, some while I was in Kuwait and some over the summer, and I've got lots to tell. But before we get into that, there's a quick update on my cup use. So this is my trusty dusty Scoon cup. This has become my favorite. I know in my last video I was telling you guys that it's a little too soft, and I thought that that was why it was a good fit for me, but I also thought it was why the seal was breaking and I was leaking. That's not why. I was mistaken. It's like I said in the last video that I had just discovered that I had a heavy flow. And I figured out why my flow has gotten heavier, and I'm taking the steps to correct that. If your flow gets heavy and you feel like, okay, this is a little more than I'm used to, or if there's anything that's not normal that's happening regularly, go get it checked out. So I figured out why. I'm taking steps to, you know, recorrect things, get my estrogen levels back in check. But the Scoon cup was leaking so soon because I was literally filling it up that fast. I think they say if you are changing your pad every hour for a day, your pad or tampon every hour for a day, if you are changing your cup every 2 to 3 hours for more than a day, then seek care. Now, luckily, mine wasn't that bad, but I've just not been able to wear it for 10 to 12 hours like other ladies. First day, sure. Last day, sure. The days in between, 10 to 12 hours, I don't know what that looks like. But even though I don't have the convenience of popping it in the morning and then taking it out when I get home from work or school or whatever I have going on, I still love the cup. As long as I have a clean bathroom to change the cup, I'm fine. If I know I'm going to go somewhere where I don't know if the bathroom's going to be clean, I go for extra protection, which we'll talk about in a minute. Examples of that might be if you are traveling to a humble country and you don't know what the water situation is like, or you don't know what the sanitation system is going to be like. You want to take extra precautions. If you are going to the club or a restaurant that you know has a terrible bathroom and you don't want to deal with the cup in the bathroom. Pros and cons, people. Everything has its upsides and its downsides. And one of the downsides of the cup, which I think is a very small downside, is that if you are like me and you cannot put your cup in the morning and then take it out when you get back home, you gotta be able to have a place to change it. Now, with that said, still the best thing that's ever happened to me. I know a lot of people that haven't tried it yet, and please understand, I'm not trying to convince you. Like, my goal for making this video is not convincing. I think if you think it's for you and you want to try it, go for it. And if you think it's not for you and you don't want to try it, it's probably not. So look into some of the options that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So yeah, back to the Scoon Cup. Scoon Cup has been my go-to for the last year, basically. I was doing the Linen Cup on my heavy day, which is my second day. And I like it because the Linen Cup has more power to it. It's not as soft as a Scoon Cup, so you have less chances of error. Like when you pop it in, it's gonna pop out. Like the Linen Cup is not gonna be sitting in there like this and then you find yourself leaking. Like, no, it's gonna pop out. Which can be dangerous. But as long as you avoid it popping on your cervix, you're good. It's gonna pop out. And it's definitely gonna stay right where you put it until you take it out. Unless, like me, you have heavy flow and you're like, wait a minute, it's only been 3 hours. Why am I leaking? Yeah, trial and error, guys. It's under control now. So I love it for that reason. But it has become my number 2. I went through a thing where like 1 month, the stem was like really irritating me. So then I cut it a little bit and then it was better. And then the next time I put it in, it was still irritating me. So I cut the whole thing off. And so that's better. But it's just like, it's not as comfortable as my Scoon Cup, which is we talked about in my last video. I'm not sure if you guys seen it, if you guys saw it, if you guys have seen it, if you guys saw it. Anyway, it was like, this is better. It's a better option, blah, 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 blah. And my vagina was like, you thought it was a better option. It's not. So the vajayjay definitely loves this. You know, I do think this is a good first-time cup. Like, I think it's a great first-time cup, especially if you're still trying to navigate how to get it in, get it out, et cetera, et cetera. You're trying to avoid leakage. The Scoon Cup is just what my body likes more. And you have to know how to use it, you know? But it's great. Like, with the Scoon Cup, I usually go for the, what is this called? The pop-down method? I don't even know what it's called. But you basically, like, fold it like this. And then I like it because I need the opening to be as small as possible to get it in there. Once I get a bit of it in there, I can push the rest in and then it pops out. Now, the go-to is like this. It's not going in like that. I haven't figured it out. A lot of people out there doing it, I haven't figured it out. Doing this, it's too wide. It's not going in. So I've got to do the pop down, or God, I don't remember what it's called. Kind of looks like a dumpling or a what are those things called? Samosa. That kind of looks like a samosa. Anyway, I use this method to put it in, and then I pop it out from there because otherwise I can't get it up there. With the Linen Cup is too powerful. If I do this and I let this thing pop out, it's literally going like, and I'm like, now everybody's vagina is different. I've heard a lot of people using the Linen Cup like it's great, popped it right into place, no problems. a little more sensitive, you know, and my vagina is like, mm-mm. So with the linen cup, to avoid it really having that like forceful pop out, I usually go for the 7 method. And my 7 method is a little less like a 7. Some people really do it like this, so it kind of looks like a 7. But I've got to do mine like down, again, because I need that narrow like opening to like really get in. Once I get it in, it's more of a gentle release. And if I need to wiggle it from there, I can. But that's my update on the cups. So, cloth pads. How was that, Ciarra? It was interesting. The first cloth pad that I bought was from Scoon Organics, which this cloth pad is amazing. The way it works, it's kind of confusing because like it comes in the package like this, and you're like, okay, so this is the part that goes on. No, this is the part that comes in contact with your hoo-ha. I heard somebody call it a hoo-ha one day, and I thought it was really funny. I'm sorry, guys. Let me focus. So what you do is has this little snap part, and then it also has this part here to just kind of secure it into place. I was about to refer to myself in a negative way. I'm just gonna say I didn't get it at first. At first, I thought like, oh, I could use it like this, and this is just extra protection. No, that's not. No, you need to use both of them. So this is not enough to like hold all of the menstrual blood. You need this as well. This is not like an extra layer that you pop on. Some of you might be watching this thinking, Ciarra, why would you think that would be an extra? We're past it. So you just, make sure it's in place or whatnot. I think like it's about the same size on each side. So I just use the tag as the back. And it's got these snap buttons on it. It's great. You take it and you snap it around your underwear, which that goes a little smoothly when you actually like are wearing the underwear. And voila, you've got your pad, And so what I do when I'm finished with it is I run cold water on it. Because cold water helps to make sure that it doesn't stain, helps to prevent staining. That's what I was trying to say. And I run cold water on it, and then I put it in the washing machine, and I let it air dry. You can put it in the dryer, but I just think it lasts a little bit longer if you don't. Just let it air dry. Sometimes I may pop it in the dryer like right before you're ready to use it again, because with you letting it air dry, it does kind of get like not crunchy. I'm not going to say crunchy. It's not like a towel, but it feels a little less flexible on this side. So that's how that goes. Now, my only complaint about this is that cloth pads are thick. They've got to be thick because they need to make sure you're not leaking. This I've never had a leak with, ever. And this is actually not that thick. It's pretty thin. The thickest part is this like weaving right here. I don't even know if that's weaving. I'm going to stop. So, this never ever leaked with this ever. Like, it's beautiful. And so on those days when I don't know if I'm going to be able to change my cup, sometimes I still put my cup in and put this on, and like if I do leak and I don't think it's enough for a panty liner to catch it, I'm going to put this on. Or some days of the week I teach 3 classes back to back. What are bathroom breaks for teachers? They don't exist. So I put on my cup and my pad just to make sure. And once I finish those 3 hours, I'm prepared for whatever. But this is an option to do if you feel like you're going to have, an outing where you don't think you're going to be able to change if necessary. Now, I thought, I love these pads so much, let me order some more. But I was like, let me test out other brands. I don't know why I did that because I liked my Sckoon one better. So I tested out Luna pads. Now, let me just start by saying, of course I dropped it. Let me just start by saying, they're so cute. Look how cute they are. And I got the black one because I was like, oh, I can avoid discoloration. This is great. Like, I'm going to get this black one. It's got these cute little bicycles on it. And I'm not going to lie. I don't know if you guys can see this, but some of the bicycles are pink and then like this one's white. The first time I used it, I was like, oh my God, my bicycles are changing colors. They're not. It's okay. And then this one, I thought, Not the best color for avoiding discoloration, but as you can see, we're good to go. And I've used it a couple times. My only complaint about these is that they're not leak proof. Like, oftentimes if I wear these without my cup, you can, like, the blood starts to get on this part and it does go through the other side. So I've never had like a terrible accident where like it went through my pants, but like this is the part that comes in contact with my undies. So, you know, then I have blood stained undies, and it's like, that's kind of like what I'm trying to avoid. So it works the same way as the Scoon cup. This one I do think is more flexible because it's made of like a fleece sort of material. But it's fleece. I don't even know if fleece is the right cotton. Yeah. Cotton is hot cotton. It's the fleecy cotton. So with me working in Kuwait and wearing these bad boys, you see where I'm going? That's my biggest complaint about these, is that they do leak a bit on the side and they're too hot. Like, it's too hot. It's not giving my vajayjay any room to breathe. And these are much thicker than, my Scoon pads. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure you guys can see that. So they have the little swiggly things on both sides. They don't have a snap, but that doesn't really matter. It doesn't slide. But this is thick and this is thick. So thick that I thought once again that I could just wear this part. That's not how they work, guys. So that's my Luna pad. I'll be honest, I don't really wear them unless for some reason I'm really just not filling my cup and I have to wear this one first and then pop one of these on while this one's being cleaned. That is another downside of having reusable things. The plus side is that you're being friendly to the environment and you're being friendly to your vagina. So, you know, take it back to the olden days. This is what I imagine like being on the rag was like. Just having to like wash them and, you know, yeah, less security, I'm sure though. Now, I didn't really like those, so I thought, let me get some different ones. I talked to one of my coworkers who was like, oh, I use these Morrissey pads. I like them. And she hasn't transferred over to a cup yet. She just went from disposable pads to reusable pads. And I was like, brave lady. These Morrissey pads are heavenly. They come in this really cute carrying case. I don't know if this qualifies as a wet bag, but it's really cute and I can put my pads in it and I love it. So this came in a pack of 3 and they look like this. They don't have an extra slip the way that the Scoon pad or the Luna pad does. These are just, it does have that fleecy cotton. It does. But it's not as hot as the Luna pads, and I think it's because it has this in here, has that material on it. Now these, no issues with leaking. I haven't had any issues with leaking with these. I have worn these without my cup and just worn them just to wear them, and I like them. Now, I will say, these are the most comfortable. Like, they're flexible. When I have them on, it doesn't feel like I have them on, but it is thicker than my Scoon pad. So, I guess it depends on what your top 3 requirements are. You know, when I am wearing this, and I'm working, I have to wear a long shirt because you can definitely see this in the back of my pants. And that's just like, I've never really been like a no VPO kind of girl, but I am a no pad kind of girl. Like, I don't want like a big pad bulging out of my pants. So, and maybe it's in my head, maybe it's bigger than I think it is just because I'm paranoid about it. But like, I do have to make sure I wear a long shirt, but I'm not bothered by that. It doesn't really bother me. Now, these, like I was saying, are the most comfortable. I'm going to get personal. I've never been a person that can go to the bathroom and like take my pad off and then put the same pad back on. It's cold. Like, by the time I use the bathroom, flush the toilet, wipe, put it back, it's cold and wet, and I don't like it. And I'm speaking about disposable pads. Don't like it at all. I don't have that problem with these. I think it's more of a mental thing for me because I'm just really used to, like, if I have to go pee, even if I just put my pad on, I've got to take it off. Like, I can't just keep it on. So it's more of a mental thing. But for some reason, when I go to the bathroom and I pull this back up, like for instance, say I'm wearing my cup and I have a little itty bitty leak, you know, and then I'm going to change my cup and, you know, there's a little leak here and I put it back on. It doesn't feel cold and it doesn't feel wet. And I can just really appreciate that. So that's pretty much it on the menstrual pads, the menstrual cloth pads. Let's talk about the disposable pads. I was so happy when I was grocery shopping at one of my favorite grocery stores in Kuwait and I saw these natural disposable pads. I was like, I'm trying this. First, I tried the panty liners. They were excellent. It's a brand called Natural Care, which I have seen here in the U.S. And most things you can get online these days anyway. The panty liners are great for lining your cup. They're not quite as long as like the Carefree long ones, but, excuse me, so rude. Where are my manners? But they are like a decent length and they've got a decent, you know, size to it. Like they fit perfectly in my underwear. I don't have to wear like period panties anymore. I could just wear my regular panties, like boy shorts or whatever panties I decide to put on, and it fits and it's great. It's durable enough to catch the leak, but not durable enough to like wear, you know, like as a pad. I might wear it on my last day when I think I'm like almost done, but that's only because I've just become, with me wearing the cup, I can feel a lot more. So if I take my cup out and I put on the Natural Care panty liner, I can feel when the blood trickles down. I didn't used to be able to do that before I started using the cup. I don't know why. I think it's maybe just getting to know my body a little bit better, but I can feel it now. Like there was a time where I could only feel it if I was passing a blood clot, but like now I literally can feel every last drop. So, loved them. Now I tried the pads, hated them. They're chlorine-free and dioxin-free. Love that part. I'm like, this is great, okay? And they're quick and easy, and they felt comfortable, and they stayed dry, and they didn't irritate me or give me that like sort of like chafing feeling after wearing them. But when I go to take them off, the adhesive on the bottom would stick to my panties, and which left like you pulled it up, and so like now I have adhesive stuck to my panties that I have to get off if I want to keep these panties. And then it exposed the blood on the bottom side of the pad. So how you would normally wrap up a pad and toss it, it's like, okay, what do I do now? Because if I wrap it, then I'm just literally like wringing out the blood. So that was annoying. But I mean, it was an easy fix. It happened when I was at home, and once I figured out that it was like a thing with the brand, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna buy this anymore. Stuck with the panty liners, did not stick with the pads. Let me see if I have one in here. I got to the U.S. Oh, no. I just saw the fit, guys. Before I left, I saw that 7th Generation had pads. Now, of course, I know 7th Generation has natural pads. But working overseas, you may not always find the brands that we see every day here in Kuwait. Or like, I know I could go to Whole Foods and find 7th Generation, but you should have seen my face. I'm so excited to find 7th Generation pads. I was like, I'm buying these. I wasn't even on my period. I'm buying them. Used them, loved them. They were great. Gonna just go ahead and spoil it now. I like them the best. They are the best. They stay dry. They're comfortable. They're flexible. They're thin. And so if I ever decide no cup for me today and I just want to put a pad on, heaven. And this is one of the 7th Generation panty liners, and this is pretty much what the Natural Care panty liner looks like. So as you can see, like it's longer than like the small Carefree or the small Always panty liners, but it's good. It has good adhesive, but not the kind that sticks to your panties, and it's soft, chlorine-free, dioxin-free. Love it. And yeah, so these are pretty much my favorite now. I can't really say that I prefer the Natural Care panty liners or the 7th Generation 7th Generation panty liners. They're both great. But 7th Generation pads, oh my God, thebomb.com. Like, that's why I don't have any to show you because they're all gone. Now, I did, for good measure, want to give Always a chance and try out their natural pads. Do I have one? Let's see. No, the box is empty. But this is what the box looks like. It's really cute, pure and clean. And what it says on the box is pads free of chlorine bleaching. Now, I do have a bit of a bone to pick with Always because Always is one of the brands that refused to release the ingredients for their pads when this whole, hey guys, watch what you put in your vagina movement started. So I was kind of like, ooh, Always, really? That's how y'all gonna do us? Really? But I was like, okay, let me try. And yes, still no ingredients on the box. But it does say that it is free of chlorine. Is it free of dioxin? I don't know. And I think that like the companies that take the extra step to say, hey, yeah, we are free of chlorine and free of dioxin, then there's it's like an extra measure. And I think like what they mean by saying chlorine free is that they're dioxin free because they didn't bleach it, which is pretty much the process by which dioxin is used. But I just kind of like the box to say both. Like I wanted to say both. I just got really angry. I'm sorry. Anyway, these are, they're cool. They're a little long. They are a little long. Now, this is the only one they had, and it is the longest size. So I would say if you opt for a shorter size, it would work fine. I wasn't crazy about the packaging of it just because like you know how they fold it twice and they have a little sticky tab. The sticky tab doesn't really stick. So if I pop them in my purse and I pull it out, it's kind of open. That kind of grosses me out because I'm like, lots of things go in my purse, you know? But overall, I really don't have any complaints. That would be my only complaint. And it wasn't uncomfortable. I wore it a couple of times, gave it a fair chance, and it was all right. So, guys, look what I found. Okay, so this is what the Always pad looks like. It's super thin, like super thin, but it's also super long. And this is the part that I said is kind of weak. So like it just comes off sometimes. And this part I found like when I opened the package, this part was kind of like coming apart as well on some of them. But small problem. But look how long it is. It's so long. It's longer than my head. So I wasn't crazy about that part, but it's super thin. It stayed dry, no irritation like I have had with other Always pads. So I'm a happy camper. You have options, ladies, and just remember again, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about using the cup, hopefully I've given you some information about my experience that can help you. But everything is not for everybody. I am not encouraging or discouraging you. I just want everyone to know that you have options. So if you don't want to use the cup, try a cloth pad. If you don't like the cloth pads, try the cup. If you want to stick to disposable, do it. You know, there are people out there who are trying to be more eco-friendly. I respect it. I love it. Me too. But I also understand that's not for everybody. And everyone's life isn't set up for that. You know, some people live lifestyles where they don't have the time to dedicate to washing their pads, you know, their cloth pads and things like that. Or maybe you're just not organized enough. Everybody's different, okay? So do what works for you. Don't let anybody pressure you into anything. It is your body. Listen to your body. The one thing that I am encouraging you to do is that if you have not done research on the damage that our trusted pad and tampon companies products are having on our bodies, then do that, you know, and just educate yourself. Knowledge is power. Before I go, it's that time again. What is this? What is this? A twin pack, you say? Why, yes, I do say. A cloth pad, you say? Why, yes, I do say. So, I'm doing another giveaway. And last year, my lucky winner was Hulda Hulda followed the contest rules and submitted a very interesting period story, and she won herself a Diva Cup. Hulda says she loves her Diva Cup. She's one of those people who, unlike me, takes a shower, pops it in the morning, comes home, takes it out, goes to the gym, does her thing, takes it out, pops back in for night. You know, so she has a pretty smooth, easy day with her Diva Cup. I haven't tried the Diva Cup for reasons that I said before. My vagina does not like firm cups. It's just not for me. So since the Scoon Cup has been my most trusted companion, I bought a twin pack. And if you watch my last video, these are way cuter than the pouch that I got from my Scoon Cup. Way cuter. A little jealous, but it's okay. And I got this kind of like coral color. You know, I thought it was befitting for the occasion. I did choose purple and blue for the cups because I read that a lot of people have issues with discoloration with their cups. I've used my cup for a year. I haven't had that problem, but I think it may be because it's purple and blue. So I haven't had issues with discoloration. Yellow cups, clear cups, I just wouldn't do it just because of, I want my cup to be sightly. Is that the right word? I want my cup to be appealing to me, sight-wise, okay? So here's what you gotta do if you want to have one of these. Share this post on Facebook, tag a friend, and go to my blog, CiarraHodges.com, click blog, click Ciarra Speaks, find this blog, which will be the most recent one, and tell me a period story, because I love period stories, and I think more people should talk about their periods. I want the world to talk about periods more. I also want the world to talk about pooping and farting more, but you know, we're getting there. Bodily functions are natural. They happen to everybody. Thinking that they're gross is learned behavior, and maybe you do still think they're gross, but they are natural at the end of the day. This is the way our bodies work. Women everywhere have cycles all year long, and we need to be more knowledgeable about it. Other people that don't have cycles, men, need to be more sensitive to us on our cycles, and just understanding that this is something that we all go through as women. Literally every woman who has a menstrual cycle goes through this, and we don't need you to make us feel bad about it. So that's the least you could do, because you can't understand. That's not something we can't help you do that. The least you can do is not make us feel bad about it. Don't say ew. Don't say yuck. Don't do any of that. I got really upset with this guy. I do that sometimes, and I kind of go off on tangents. How dare you? Especially if you have daughters. Please don't do that. Please don't teach your daughters that her body is nasty, or that the things that her body naturally does is wrong or dirty. Don't do that. It's not cool. After all, this is what preps us for babies. We are the future. So, once again, tangent finished. If you want to be the owners of these two Scoon cups or this menstrual pad, share this post on Facebook, tag a friend, tell me your period story. You and your friend could be the brand new owners of this cup, and my runner-up is going to be the brand new owner of this menstrual cloth pad. All right, I'm done, folks. That's all, folks. I couldn't decide on which was going to be the better ending. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more on my period and my life and my travel and whatever it is that you're interested in, or however you got here. I really hope that you've enjoyed yourself today, and peace.